There was once a girl who lived a life filled with doubt about her very existence. She believed she had been abandoned since the day she was born. She didn't know her parents' faces, let alone who she was herself. She was severely beaten if she didn't do as she was told, so the girl lived as a boy without understanding why, constantly moving from place to place. She moved from one orphanage to another, sometimes as a farmhand and other times as a stable boy. She couldn't stay anywhere for long, so she had no one to give affection to, nor could she receive affection from anyone. She lived a profoundly lonely life, despite always being alone. The girl was okay. Loneliness is deeply felt only when one has been loved. Then one day, she asked if someone was looking for her. The Duke's knights replied, "Yes, someone has been looking for her for a very long time. Please come with us, miss." She thought these people knew that she was a girl. This person who knows about her and is waiting for her, who could it be? In the dark life of the girl, the presence of someone who recognized her was like a lamplight. She had wandered around for so long, unable to settle down. Wouldn't it be all right to follow them this once? But it was as if someone was mocking the girl's determination, telling her that what she desired wasn't easily attainable. She said she should have stayed at the orphanage. "Please get up, don't die, she is scared." Just when hope began to fill her, the girl had to witness a brutal death. People were chasing her, and the people who had come to escort her were dying. She prayed, "If there is a God, please, if someone is really looking for her, please help her." Nobles with the emperor admired his archery skills, which were truly remarkable. He is certainly living up to his reputation of being an ace marksman. The emperor stated, "Well, that's only one down. He wonder how many Duke Vitterpen or the others have caught. All of them should go hunt except for Marquis Haley." The emperor asked for a report. He didn't do anything that would attract attention, did he? The marquis replied, "Well, it was a bit risky to have that rat-like steward following closely, but they managed to herd them without getting caught. Everything is going according to plan." On the other hand, the Duke thought, "There it goes, be careful, don't get caught in the trap again." Then he thought, but he could not leave it like that because its white coat reminded him of someone. Briella. He hadn't been able to stop thinking about her for a while now. However, he still hadn't found a real solution. He still can't sort out where his heart truly belongs, and she continuously evades his questions about her identity. How troubling. He is going to confess his feelings today, so he can't go empty-handed. The next scene, the emperor spoke before hunting the sleeping bear. There seems to be something he should do. This seems like a great chance to get rid of that eyesore. In the same location, Duke thought without reason killing something he dislikes, and he believes Briella would feel the same. So what should he do? The next moment, the Duke thought something is coming. The emperor stated, he wonder how the person who has been laying low will react. That only gives them time to react. The next scene, she was startled and thought, what was that? She hasn't seen anyone after entering this forest. Does someone out there need help? On the other hand, Marquis Haley spoke. This is Count Delavine. He insisted on coming with her, when she told him that she was going to see Briella. Briella replied, "It's a pleasure to meet him. Lady Delavine has been doing a great job with her responsibilities." She thought she almost said, "It's been a while." The Count stated he would say it's all thanks to Lady Haley taking good care of his rose. Briella thought Count Delavine should be neutral. Yet he is trying to compliment a member of House Haley, a family loyal to Gusto. After some time, the Emperor returned. Briella was shocked. The Emperor had caught a bear. Marquis thought back. There, he had shot a rabbit that was passing by the bear. He woke the sleeping bear on purpose to create a dangerous situation, and used the knight beside him as a human shield. Naturally, the Emperor was never in danger. Why must he be so cruel? The Emperor thought, now she can see, being by his side is better than being with a pathetic duke, and the more chess pieces he has to use, the better. The Emperor spoke, it's only the first day, so he think we can end things here. Has everyone returned? Marquis replied, Duke has not yet returned. Emperor said, is that so? He wonder what's keeping him so late. He is sure the Reaper of the battlefield would not just bring back a few rabbits. Briella thought, if she had known it would be like this, maybe she should have told him she enjoyed hunting. He will probably come back empty-handed. His role in this hunting competition is just managing the horses. He was in charge of overseeing the entire hunting ground. If unauthorized individuals are found entering the hunting ground, they could be accused of attempting to assassinate the emperor and lose their lives. The emperor forced Duke to take on such a grave task. Such a coward. She hopes Duke returns safely. The emperor stated, I'm not sure what game Duke is hunting to keep his beautiful wife waiting so long. But no matter how he think about it, there is likely nothing better than the game he has caught. He hope he didn't ruin our expectations, but don't be too upset. Suddenly, Duke came and stated, did he keep her waiting? A little fellow that looks just like her gave me these flowers. He have to say something, as she knows he have lost many things in his life. Among those were people he cared for and relied upon, and losing them hurt him so much that he wanted to die. He have never harbored ill will, so why has something so cruel happened to him? He was drowning in despair and blamed the world, letting hatred and resentment consume him. Duke thought, yes, as time passed, the emotion that he felt most intensely is regret. He must be a fool. But if she had a reason, he didn't know. If we had not turned our backs on each other, the outcome might have been different. What if he had clung to her and pleaded with her? Then maybe he could have prevented her from dying like that. Duke whispered, he don't want to experience the same regret again. That's not to say he is not afraid. He still hardly know her, and perhaps he will be betrayed for the second time. But ever since he realized that, at this moment, his feelings are directed toward Briella. Worrying about what might happen seems pointless. He don't want to hesitate, be afraid, and neglect doing his best in the present. He don't want to feel that regret again. So he have decided he will follow his heart's desire. He is still unsure of his own feelings and need confirmation. That's why he will be more honest with the person who is in front of him. So, will she accept this? This is the least impressive game from the hunting competition. Briella thought she can't reciprocate him. How could she ever reciprocate his feelings? She is a coward that can't be compared to someone as brave as him. How could she reveal who she is and how she feels? Why does she still want to accept his flowers, knowing how shameless it would be to do so? Then she stated, he is so sly. How could she refuse when everyone is looking at them? Duke spoke. He guessed it was a bit sneaky of him to do this in front of others. He will make up to her, so that neither of us ends up feeling regret and unhappiness at the end. The emperor thought, everyone is looking at them, after all the trouble he went through. That idiot always manages to sabotage his plans like this. Then Empress stated, this won't do. Duke, is he mocking them? Everyone was excited to see the skills of the god of the battlefield, and what he will bring back are those pitiful flowers. Duke replied, apologizing for not meeting expectations. He simply chose what a lady would love for an occasion meant for ladies. He didn't want to do something she would not be pleased with just to show off. The emperor thought his anger is boiling. He has caught such a large bear, and Duke steals the spotlight with his boring flowers. He should simply obey, not question his decision. He wants to crush him. It's time to remind the dog who the master is. The emperor stated that he shall give him an order. Tomorrow, he will hunt for his lord, on the second day of the hunting competition. Briella spoke, saying he has to run immediately if he senses any danger. He could get hurt. Duke replied that nothing will happen since she gave him a handkerchief before. He would like something more this time, like an affectionate kiss. Briella spoke, saying, fine, come closer then. Duke told her, have she given up on pretending we are happily married? When they were getting close, Duke kissed her forehead. After some time, a knight came and told them he went to scout the path in advance, and it seemed someone had been there before them. He estimated there were 4 people. The emperor stated it's interesting. It seems Duke will take action first, a proper competition at last. On the other hand, Duke asked when was the last patrol. Baron replied, the patrols make rounds every day. But this is near the border, so they only come here once every 3 days. That means someone has been here within that time. Then, they saw the emperor was going, and he said he is going to follow them. It would be troubling if they hunt a wolf. The next scene, She thought about wolves. They must have smelled the blood. She has seen enough death to know what this temperature means. The emperor started hunting the black wolf. She thought about what she should do. Can she stay still, or should she run? Then she remembered that the knight stated if something happens to him, she should go to the Vidurpan manor but not let anyone see her. So, she must go to the Vidurpan manor. The emperor thought back in time. Crown Prince Lucas will undeniably become a great emperor. He is compassionate and knows how to look out for people. What a hypocrite. Marquis stated, does he see gusto? He should at least try to buy support by appealing to people like that. Plotting is not the answer to everything. His public image also matters. Is he trying to prove that he is incapable because he is not of direct lineage? Gusto replied, of course not, father. Then he thought he will surpass in one day. He is simply laying low and waiting for the right time. His father and he are both labeled as inferior. He is waiting for the day to get rid of that label. The next scene, his father stated, look, it's their world now. They must now make the empire a better place, and he has a present for him. He is the crown prince now. He will make Lucas his dog soon. Gusto thought, not like this. What is the meaning of this, father? If he hands over all of this to him, what about his chance to defeat him? No. Back in the present time, she thought she knew this was going to happen. She wouldn't have come back. The knight told her Duke is waiting for her. Who is her family? If she has a family, doesn't that mean she can be together with this person? The next scene, Marquis spoke. She got away. Seems like she ran away because of the wolves. Should they go after her? The emperor replied, what chance of survival could a girl have in this dangerous forest? Did he forget who has been managing this forest? Duke does not knows that the one he is being looking for so desperately might die because of him. How funny is this? His little sister was on the verge of death here in the forest, while he was picking flowers for his wife. They will continue the hunt. It's no fun if the hunt is too easy, the knight stated. The wolves ran toward that direction just now, the emperor spoke. No. They are going this way. The real black hole will follow him to save its pack. This will be the last hunt. After some time, Duke stated, looks like they are indeed hunting wolves, and looks like someone is lost. Marquis Surger spoke, they must find the princess. It looks like Sir Usher and the princess wandered in here after being chased by the assassins sent by the emperor. Duke stated he will distract the emperor. He can go and find Serena. Then he thought, Serena, please stay alive. On the other hand, Serena was scared and thought, please, someone help her. Mom, Dad, brother, she is over here. It's cold. She might fall asleep like this. Maybe she was wrong to hope for happiness she didn't deserve, but she doesn't want to give up the hope that has come to her. She needs to get out of this forest and reach the manor. Suddenly, she heard the voice that stated, Hi's Duke Vidurpan, the person in charge of managing this forest. Is anyone here? Serena thought. Is that the same person she met that night? Could he possibly be her family? The emperor thought it's terrible that he arrived here, but this is for the better. Serena saw another person trying to kill Duke, and the emperor thought he is simply hunting a wolf. Serena was running to Duke, then thought she has finally found him. He is her family, the emperor thought. What in the world? Where did she come from? This isn't good. How is he supposed to control the Duke without the princess? He might expose his claws now and attack him, but why does he feel liberated? Actually, this might be better. He wants to prove himself. He can finally fight against him fair and square. Duke spoke. Hang in there. He will find a way to save her. Serena asked if he is her brother. She has wanted to meet him. There is something she was hoping to hear from him. She wants to know who she is. Duke told her, please don't speak anymore. She will strain her wound. Serena tell him she doesn't have much time left, please. Duke replied she is his precious little sister and the beloved daughter of their parents. Serena stated she is relieved that she got to hear that before she dies. She is glad that the family she has finally found is as impressive and noble as him, and she has this feeling that if there really is a goddess, they will meet again someday. She did her best to not give up, and in the end, he came to find her like a shining bright light. She will come find him next, so don't cry. Duke replied he should have found her sooner. The next moment, she is dead. The emperor asked, "Who is that?" Duke thought, "The same arrows," then replied, "A child was lost in the woods." The emperor spoke, "How could that happen? How did he manage the imperial forest? Moreover, who's to say if the child was truly lost or came into the hunting grounds with another motive?" The emperor thought, "What a hypocrite, so he is finally showing his true colors." Emperor stated he seemed reluctant to admit his mistake. Once they return, he will ensure Duke is held accountable for his mistake. After that, Duke was laughing and thought, "What miracle, what goddess!" He was an arrogant fool. He was unable to recognize his sister who stood right before him. She must have been so scared. How long did she wait for him? How harsh was the reality faced by those around him? In order to protect his dream, he could not even protect one small flower of the empire. If there is a next time, he will find her first. No matter what happens, he will become stronger so that she never has to experience loss again. The next scene, Briella stated, "What happened? Why is that child here? Wait, is she Princess Serena?" Then she thought, when she returned from death, she came to believe in the existence of God. She believed that there was a divine being looking over her. But how can there be a god here? On the other hand, Count Delavigne arrived. The emperor told him that someone was caught attempting to hurt a royal. Count asked, "Then was it Duke's heart?" Then he thought, "Oh no. Right now the royal is Gusto." The emperor replied, "Right now that he thinks about it, Duke is also a royal. He is right. The Duke, not him, almost died." Count asked, "Was it an assassin?" The emperor replied, "He just took a quick look. It was a young child with black eyes, but he wasn't sure if it was a boy or a girl. The child's bright blonde hair was quite memorable." So, they must find out who attempted to murder a royal. He thinks Count's role will be pivotal since he is one of the neutral nobles. He wants to ask his opinion on who he thinks would do this. The next scene. If he returns with the body, everyone will be doomed. The emperor will accuse her of attempting to kill a royal and call her a traitor. Then her body will be torn to pieces. His parents had to suffer a terrible end, and he won't let his sister face the same fate. Bury her now. Briella thought, why did she not know about any of this until now? Why didn't she do anything? She is useless. Princess, she will pay the price for ignorance and follow her soon. So, please, until then, she hopes she finds comfort with her baby there. All of them are crying, Duke stated. Everyone, raise their heads, let him be clear now. He will become the emperor. From now on, he will do more than become an emperor who wishes to protect others. He will stab the hearts of those who took his parents and his sister from him. Those of them who do not wish to follow him, leave now, they replied. Even after all this, they still believe in him. Briella spoke. She believes in him, Duke stated. Things will be much harder than before from now on. Is she sure she won't regret this? Briella replied, that's nothing new. They have already done too much together to turn back now. Moreover, she already swore that her life is his to take. Duke stated he is glad that she is with him. One of the Duke's knights told him that the manor has been surrounded by the imperial guards. Briella stated, wait, we'll listen to her this time. Duke asked, does she have something in mind? Briella spoke. She made a promise that she would help him reclaim his throne. But first, she will return his title, as a brother, the title that he lost along with his crown. Duke asked about his lost title as a brother. So what must he do? Briella replied, return to the palace and kneel in front of the emperor. They should be able to meet again before morning, and she won't be late. Duke said he is not sure if the morning will come again, but he will see her there. After that, Marquis asked what will she do now. Briella replied, they must prepare a funeral for the princess, and she will need his help. After some time, a person is singing that a nameless flower withers tonight, withered in front of the red rose, only the moonlight knows, the flower that cannot be called. With no mother to bid farewell or father to greet, oh little flower. The yellow flower withered by the red goblet, may it rest in peace when it returns to the arms of the goddess? People are chatting, asking what is the meaning of this. Someone said a young girl was killed in the imperial hunting ground today, apparently shot by the emperor's arrows. Then another one stated Duke is kneeling in front of the palace gate. He buried the girl who died by the arrow, and the emperor is accusing the Duke of treason. People are chatting, wondering why should the Duke kneel because of something like that. The girl must have wandered in there looking for food. The lady stated, "Will this be enough?" Briella replied, "No, not yet. They should send more bards to spread the word to the people." And Marquis, "Will he prepare a coffin? It doesn't need to be luxurious. Find a coffin that the people of the empire use and place it at the plaza." One of the bards stated if that girl was their family, people are chatting that the girl did nothing, and her family must be in pain now. Then they saw a coffin. One little girl was crying that she would have been so scared. She hopes she won't be cold or hungry there. Her mother spoke that she would have been devastated if that happened to her, and there is nothing. People are crying. Marquis thought she wonders what her plan was, but he didn't think she could naturally lead the people in this way. Briella stated, "This is only the beginning. Please keep a close watch on the people. This must spread to the entire empire as soon as possible. She will return to her place back at the manor. She will leave the rest to him." People are chatting. The Duke is still kneeling in front of the palace gate. There must be something they can do. The noble lord is doing everything to protect people like them. They must head to the palace. People are marching toward the palace. Then Duke heard about the singing. Lots of people came. Duke stated, "The flower that cannot be called, the little flower." On the other hand, guards tell her she cannot pass. This is the emperor's order. Nobody may enter the manor. The emperor ordered them to escort her to the palace. His Majesty was being considerate, as it is better that people do not see her riding the carriage. Briella stated, "Being considerate, so this is the emperor's generosity. Looks like she is too humble to understand his generosity." Briella thought she was going to wait at the manor, but she is being dragged to the palace now. How frustrating. She should at least have the window open. She got hurt, and watching the blood, she was getting insane. But then she calmed herself, telling herself that she should not cry because of such petty harassment like this. But why does she feel like nothing is going as planned? She feels so helpless and useless. Then she thought about this song. She opened the window and saw people with yellow flowers. Then she thought, "Thank goodness, Lucas, without all these people here, he would have been fighting alone somewhere out there, in front of that person inside that palace and in front of her eyes." Now she thinks about it. She knows the emperor called her there. He wants her to see how pitiful Lucas is, how despicable that man is. A knight told her they won't be able to pass through the front gate, they must enter through the rear entrance. Briella shouted, "Lucas." People are chatting, asking if she is the Duchess. Where are they taking her? They are going to punish the Duchess too. After some time, the knight asked what she is doing. If she ignores the emperor's generosity again like that, they will both be in trouble. Briella replied. She does look forward to what kind of trouble she will have to face. The knight told her the emperor ordered that she wait in the Landera palace. Then after some time, Briella thought, this bed was always so big. She doesn't know if she will be able to fall asleep tonight. Oh, how did she get there? Did she follow her from the manor? Is there something outside the door? Then Briella was shocked. This is the light of the yellow rose that protects their empire. Everything will be all right, she is sure of it. On the other hand, Marquis stated he must wake up, they have a situation. The emperor asked, "What is it?" Marquis replied, "People are gathering near the palace plaza." Emperor asks if Duke is still at the palace plaza. Does that mean people are heading to where he is? What's going on? Marquis replies that he believes the emperor should see for himself. He has a carriage ready. In the carriage, Emperor thinks Duke didn't bring his sister's body, just as he expected. So, he accused him of his crime and didn't let him enter the palace. He was sure that Duke would return to his manor with the girl's body. Instead, he returned to the palace and begged for forgiveness, and the Duchess returned to the manor empty-handed. What is Duke planning? And why does he keep hearing this unfamiliar, annoying song? Emperor asks if this song he hears has something to do with this situation. Marquis replies that they should get out first, then he can explain. After some time, Emperor thinks it's a strange melody, giving him goosebumps. It's not that cold out here, so why is he trembling? Emperor speaks that he feels quite nervous for some reason. It's like the first time he entered this room wearing the Emperor's crown. Then Emperor asks, what is the meaning of this, and thinks about a nameless flower, in the Rhone Empire. Noble ladies who haven't married yet introduce themselves as the little flower of their family. Emperor states, but this can't be. They wouldn't know about something like that. How long has this been going on? Marquis replies, there were only 1 or 2 of them at first, so nobody paid them any attention. Emperor tells him, 1 or 2, look outside. It's like the entire population of the capital is out there. The plaza should be full of sounds from the festival, yet now it's echoing with that song. Marquis apologizes, saying they suddenly rushed over, so he thought they were here to watch the Duke. Emperor asks what the nobles and knights were doing while that many people gathered here. Marquis replies they are not doing anything directly, they have no justification to do anything. On the outside of the palace, Duke thinks he hasn't felt the chill of the snowflakes or the sharp wind that clawed through his body for a while now. When he looks at the yellow flowers fully blooming in summer, he is reminded of the fairy tale that his mother used to read to him. One day, when the moonlight filled the river, finally, the black wolf arrived at the hill blooming with golden roses. He is kneeling alone here, yet if he feels like someone is holding his hand by his side, her presence and the funeral that she prepared are all helping him endure this moment without suffering. A little boy comes and said they are cheering for his grace. His dad said Duke is protecting them and he didn't do anything wrong. That's why he wants to protect him. Duke is noble, yet he is kneeling here because of people like them, and the pretty Duchess too. Duke replies, thanks, he just realized something. He is not kneeling here to beg for forgiveness. Perhaps he is kneeling to face all the people here. The little boy said he will spread the word to all of them. He will tell everyone about who Duke was kneeling for tonight. Duke thinks this is truly goodbye now. Serena, he will never forget his regret for not recognizing her sooner, and the wishes of the people here. He must be looking at him arrogantly right now, at the center of all those people. Inside the palace, Emperor asks Marquis if he has served 3 emperors until now. Has he ever seen something like this before? Marquis replies no, he has not. Emperor stated his seat was not made with legitimacy. The monarchy of the Rhone Empire has never fallen. Even during the coup, everyone was busy locking their doors and hiding inside, so why are they gathered here and threatening the palace like that? Marquis replies he believes they should have a meeting to assess the situation. Emperor states Rose Delavine is in the palace right now. Keep Rose in the palace and call Count here first. Count came, and Duke asked what he suggests. Count thought Rose isn't back yet. The Emperor stated that his silence at this moment may lead to all sorts of misunderstandings. Count replied that he is a noble of the neutral faction. Isn't that why he asked him to call a meeting among the nobles? The Emperor thought he has to admit that is a great excuse. The Emperor stated that besides Duke, Marquis, and he, these are the only one who witnessed what happened in the forest at the time. So why is everyone only listening to Duke? He is the Emperor. How can this happen? What have they all been doing? At a time like this, Empress Olivia used to take care of these things. Does he have any suggestions now? Marquis replied that yes, perhaps he should summon Marquis Rane here. The Emperor thought if the Nobles' Council punishes Duke right now, who knows how the people will respond? They may be holding flowers in their hands now, but they may hold something different next time. Duke stated to summon Marquis Rane. On the other hand, Briella thought, thank goodness it's still going on even now. If only she had suggested something different, then the princess might still be alive. Perhaps it was wrong of her to use the princess to convince him to keep her by his side. She knows that apologizing will only be temporary comfort from this guilt, but she will pay for all her sins when everything is over. What is it? Don't do this. What is that? A children's book. Lucas hid a children's book under his pillow. She never would have guessed. This is the story of the Black Wolf. Her nanny told her this as a bedtime story. She wonders why she feels such a strange sensation. It's as if the story is describing what is happening now. She doesn't have the courage to turn the page. She doesn't remember what happened after this. But that is why she wishes to create their own story and accompany Lucas on the path he takes. In the next scene, Marquis stated, "The lyrics are too delicate and beautiful to be thought of on a simple whim. In their empire, there is only one person who can wear a red cape. The ones gathered outside seem to know where this death began, and though it seems that they do not fully understand the lyrics." The emperor thought he didn't even say a word about what happened with the princess, but those are the eyes of someone who knows everything. They are as unpleasant as that song. The emperor asked Marquis Rane what he suggests he do about this issue. Marquis whispered something. The emperor stated, "Indeed, he never thought of that. But is that really necessary?" Though he is curious to see how Duke will react. Marquis stated Duke should not be underestimated. Nobody will object to his decision on this matter. Do not forget, Your Majesty, a crisis may seem threatening at first, but it can be turned into a greater opportunity. The emperor thought, to be honest, he just wanted to order the imperial knights to kill all of them. Then he spoke, "Is this truly the only way? This is not how He usually do things." Marquis assured him that humans would like him better this way, especially those who are always vulnerable like them. He knew this wouldn't be satisfying at the moment, but he would come to understand as time goes by. This should also help Lady Eve's reputation. After some time, Eve stated that she is here to deliver a message from the emperor. His Majesty saw him kneeling here and decided to forgive him for what happened at the hunting ground. Although he drove a poor girl to death because he neglected his duties, he has chosen to be generous and forgiving. People thought, "What did she say? Is the Duke responsible for this matter?" Eve continued, "His Majesty has chosen not to accuse or punish anyone for what happened. He should now return home to his goddess." Duke thought, "That's an answer that will delight the people who are here." Then he stated, he is grateful for His Majesty's boundless generosity and kindness. After that, Marquis spoke. Most people do not wish to fight against generosity and grace. Duke thought, this is strange. He never imagined that Gusto would choose to do something like this. This isn't like him. Moreover, Briella helped to start this funeral for Serena, and the people choose to mourn her death together. But this decision changes everything completely. People told him, "Your Grace, he must return home now." This year's festival feels like a true festival of the goddess. They thought nobles were all scary, but now they know that there are nobles like him too. Duke replied, "This would not have been possible without everyone here." Duke thought it's only been one night, but he learned about what kind of emperor he must become, and why he must reclaim the seat. He knew what moves these people. After some time, Eve stated, "It's been a while, Marquis Rane." Marquis replied, "Welcome, beautiful lady," then asked if he believed he had not met this lady here. Rose introduced herself, and Marquis told her he was sure she didn't remember, but he met her once. Rose replied, "Father never mentioned." Marquis stated he could see why Count adores her so. Marquis Haley spoke, "Duchess Vitterpen is still in the palace. Shouldn't something be done about her?" Marquis Rane asked if it's all right with him. Can he see her? Families are supposed to be together for the festival of the goddess, yet the Duchess is confined within the palace. If the people learn of this, they won't believe him sincerely forgiving the Duke. It is best that she is ordered to return home. The Emperor spoke. He supposed so. Marquis said he could meet the Duchess and deliver his order. He would like to speak with her in person. In the next scene, a person stated, "Marquis Rane is here," and he showed him to the reception room for now. Briella thought he came so suddenly without sending prior notice or revealing the purpose of his visit. No, he is no longer the father who used to manipulate her life. He is merely a Marquis. After that, Marquis spoke. "This is our second time meeting." Briella asked, "What brings him here so unexpectedly?" Marquis stated she appeared to be busy, so he shall get to the point without delay. Briella thought there's not a hint of disturbance in his breathing or his gestures. His face is devoid of any color. He speaks in a slow, almost tortuous way. Truly, he still manages to suffocate her, as she thought. Even after her death, He has not changed a bit. Rane stated the emperor has bestowed a gift upon her. Briella thought, from this moment, every word uttered must be without fault. This is an invisible battle. The moment she betrays her thoughts, she will be exposed, and there is no avoiding it, given his experience and composure. After all, he was the one who taught her. Briella replied, his gift must be his permission for her to return to the Vitterpen estate. Then she thought she had to be bold and continued, she will thank the emperor in person later. His position is not merely to relay such messages. Stop beating around the bush and state his true purpose for coming here. Marquis replied, he merely wished to have a conversation with someone who devised and executed such a plan. Briella thought he speaks as if he knows everything. Well then, she has a lot to say about that. Then she asked, have his curiosities been satisfied? Rane replied, well, they seem only to deepen. Briella stated, is that so? She is too curious. Why did he resume that position? What is his purpose? Rane replied, he is not sure what she means. Briella stated, unfortunately, she does not have the leisure to satisfy his curiosity. She shall take her leave now. After that, Rane thought it can't be. There is no way. Then, after some time, Duke stated, she has finally come back. He has waited too long. Briella apologized, and Duke spoke about the flower he sent in advance since he could not wait. Briella replied, how could she not notice? It suddenly appeared in her room when people were leaving. Duke spoke about how thanks to her, he received many flowers from people. But it bothered him that she did not receive a single one. Briella told him that he kept giving her more since that bouquet from before. But thanks to the flower, she felt like he was with her. It helped her a lot when she had to face an unexpected guest, though she is not sure if she deserves this. Duke told her it's not her fault, nobody is at fault, so, if she is blaming herself, he hopes she will stop. Briella thought she wonders what this is, this sense of security she is feeling for the first time. The real challenges, the mountains they just overcame, are just beginning, in the process of achieving their goal. Let's go inside together. She will hope for the day to come when she can give him a single yellow rose filled with her true feelings. The next day, the emperor stated he seemed to recall saying that it's something she must achieve on her own. Eve replied, but it's so difficult, a little help would not hurt. She stated she knew where the color was before and asked how Lady Delavine was. Eve asked why he was suddenly asking about her. The emperor replied that to persuade Count Delavine, they need her. Eve asked if it's her, the empress seat, her right. The emperor said if not her, she has to work for it. Eve thought, why is he saying that? When Empress Olivia was alive, he promised it would surely be her. She believed it would be her once Empress Olivia was gone. Instead, anxiety only grows with the increasing threads. She was better off when Empress was alive. But even so, this position is her everything, her greatest opportunity in life. She can do anything to become the emperor, even cast away her pride 100 times. Then she spoke. It seems her efforts have been insufficient. Now she can try harder. She will take good care of Lady Delavine. The emperor replied, no, taking care of her isn't enough. She must become entirely his. On the other hand, Sergel stated it's been a while since they relaxed like this. Then he said, that was an ingenious plan of hers. It was a very remarkable feat. The expressions on people's faces on the street showed they accomplished something. Duke spoke that Gusto must have felt quite cornered, considering he summoned Marquis Rane. Briella replied, yes, Marquis Rane has returned, and Gusto probably won't be able to let go of the Marquis's hand. In the palace, Rane stated that Duchess Vitterpen was very interesting, yellow flower with red by the red goblet. Do he know what the red goblet and yellow flower symbolize? As it stands, it's known merely as the death of a nameless girl, but if it comes to light that it was Princess Serena, the emperor shouted, who is he calling a princess? Has he gone mad in his seclusion? Rane replied, please calm down, he can deny it all he wants, but the people who lived through the coup consider her a princess. The former emperor may have stripped Duke of his title. However, the princess was kidnapped as a baby. Nobody officially took away her title. The things that are red symbolize him. The emperor asked what his point is. Rane replied, "It's simple. He's upholding his contact with the former emperor. His duty is to answer his call whenever he needs his assistance." At the estate, Briella stated Rane knows that Duke is more suited to be the emperor of the Rhone Empire than Gusto. Duke asked, "Then why would he help Gusto?" Briella replied, "Who knows? Who can guess what that viper is thinking? Perhaps no one can truly understand him." Then she thought, even she, who resembles him in everyday life, can only come close to understanding, never completely. Sergal asked, "Then what do he plan to do?" Duke spoke that he intended to reclaim the throne, from now on, a plan to change his method and use everything at his disposal. After losing Serena, he has learned something from meeting with the people. They have overlooked something, a factor that could be very disadvantageous in reclaiming the throne. The time it takes for Gusto to become a suitable emperor, and the time for him, the former crown prince, to be forgotten. Do they think that a title can shape a person? People have started calling him a duke. To the younger generation born in recent years, he is not the crown prince for them, he is just Duke Vitterpen. He wanted to become a good emperor, but he could not do anything in the face of his parents' death, and now his sister's death as well. What will truly be his when he reclaims it? No matter what he chooses, he will have a great burden, but he doesn't want to have the same regret he had when he lost Serena. She never lived as a princess in her lifetime. It was only in that moment when she was treated as one, and even then, not fully. Shamefully, he was not the one who gave her that. Baron stated it's time everyone accepted the truth. His Highness is no longer the untainted young prince they once protected. Their emperor has truly come of age. Duke spoke, realizing his ideals were a fantasy after losing Serena, and now there is something he does not want to lose. They said if that's his wish, they will follow. What does he wish them to do? Duke replied, "Well, for starters, they will need more drink tonight. They will win." Briella suited, after all, they are in this together. On the other hand, Eve stated she is not supposed to be here before she summoned her. She is too late. Don't she think? Rose thought she is doing this on purpose. This isn't the first time. She has been like this since they first met. She must instinctively feel threatened by her. She is Rose Delavine. Father always called her the child of the prophecy. She has nothing to fear. Rose asked if she is afraid of her. Eve replied, "Why would she be afraid of a country bumpkin like her?" Rose stated because Eve doesn't know what she is. No. What everyone knows? Is that what is upsetting her? Eve shouted, "How dare she?" It seems she is trying her best to taunt her, but she won't fall for such petty tricks. Enough of this, come along and attend to her. Then Eve thought, what is this? Is she really feeling intimidated by this plain, unsophisticated girl? Then she thought, gold. She did think that those golden eyes might be the reason. But now that they are standing side by side, she can see her golden eyes, unlike hers, remaining luminous even in the dark. Rose thought her eyes are radiant, captivating gold. That's what makes her replaceable. Father. She will not waste this opportunity given to her in this palace. The next scene, Duke stated she said that she was Olivia's shadow, yet he sees Olivia herself when he sees her. Is it just his imagination? Briella replied, is that really important? Duke stated, Winter said he could not find any trace of her no matter how much he investigated Olivia. To be honest, he is afraid. After he had to bury Serena, he regretted it. He wanted to send Serena in peace, but he didn't know a single thing about her. He doesn't know what she liked or didn't like, what she did at night when she missed her family. He has no idea what she wanted to do when they met. He knows nothing about her, and he will regret not recognizing Serena for the rest of his life. It's a lie to say that he can let go of someone in his heart. There is no way that she can forget her. To be honest, he is not confident. She may never give him an answer, and he is still afraid. But he doesn't want to regret not recognizing someone who is dear to him again. So, he will ask her one more time, Briella, who is she? The one who helped him forget the past that he could not forget. Now she is with him in the present as if she were meant to be. He could only dream of a future with one person by his side, but now that person is she. Briella thought he is shaking. He is looking straight at Olivia with such honest eyes. It's been so long since someone looked at her like this. When she lived as the Empress, she was completely isolated except for a few months when she was pregnant. Can she really say that she was alive back then? She had to bear the weight of the responsibilities that others neglected and pushed onto her. She endured every single day out of obligation. Her life was lonely and weary like a dying old tree, yet, that is exactly why she cannot forget her past. And here, someone is taking the courage to reach out to the life that she has been trying to bury, right now, what she wants to convey to him. She is still hesitating. Should she really answer his call? Whether her situation is that she committed a sin in the past, and that sin will not disappear, she understands that this decision of hers is utterly shameless and without honor. But despite all of this, her heart still beats in expectation for him, who still seeks the past that she suppressed and the future that she abandoned. So all she can tell him right now is. Then she said something she wants to give him. She has been keeping it since she thought she would get a chance to give it to him one day. Lucas, she does not know if she has the right to do this, but even so, if she is really truly given the chance to express herself, then this is her answer and her sincerity to his question. To help the wolf reach the moon even in darkness, she wishes to become a glowing gold rose to welcome him, so he can continue to light his path by his side. Duke thought this is the promise they made so long ago when they were still children. He will never forget the secret code between him and Olivia. For information, the golden rose blooms throughout the year in the Rhone Empire. It is also one of the symbols of House Rane. Then Duke thought he sees, so he was right. She was pretending to be someone else, but it was always Olivia. She came back on his side. Then Duke stated thanks for answering, his bravery, and then thought she always knew how to wait for the right moment. Even when they played with wooden swords, she knew how to strategize. That is why even Gusto's father wanted her. So he is sure there is a reason why she doesn't say it in words. He is simply grateful that he recognized her. Then Duke speaks. Do not question whether she deserves it or not. If that is difficult for her, then he wants to help her forget about it. Briella replies she guesses they won't be able to sleep separately tonight. Then she thought the promise of the golden rose was a shackle dead Olivia could not escape, but perhaps the hope that will lead her, Briella, to a future together. She didn't feel uncomfortable facing him that night. It was a bit awkward to face him in bed like this back in Lindera. Duke thought he already lost her once, and he won't lose her twice. Briella think his hand felt firm and burning hot. The temperature she was facing for the first time felt like butterflies in her stomach, but it also made her feel like she can be herself. And that night, she fell asleep very comfortably. Then, on the morning of the Goddess Festival, people were mumbling about why they were here instead of in the palace. It looks like His Majesty had not forgiven them. But at least they looked wonderful together. How curious, since they seemed quite comfortable here, Duke stated. Did she hear that? They think both of us look wonderful together. Then children came, and a little girl said she knew that song her friend told her. She offered to sing it for him. Emperor asked, "What is that horrendous sound? Not again." Rane stated, "They are quite formidable foes, but first of all, he should calm down since he have to go out there soon." Eve came and told him that she chose this dress for the day after much consideration. As she would be standing next to him, she asked, "How do she look?" The emperor replied, "That doesn't suit her at all. Hurry up and change into something else. We don't have time." "She should hurry up now," Eve replied, "as he wish." Rane stated to Lady Rose that she should wait here for a moment as someone was looking for her. In the next scene, Duke spoke, "So, he is finally showing himself. And who will be standing next to him?" He wondered, Marquis Rane or Marquis Haley? Briella replied, "Marquis Rane. He is the person that Gusto needs right now." The emperor made a short speech, and Briella said, "The one on the left of the emperor. Isn't that Count Delavigne? Marquis Haley and Lady Eve are absent." Duke replied, "Right. He is surprised that Count Delavigne managed to replace them." A few minutes ago, Count and his daughter met each other. Rane informed him. They are about to stand in front of the people for the festival's opening ceremony. Why don't he join them with your daughter? Haley asked. What is the meaning of this all of a sudden? How dare he decide that without His Majesty's permission? The emperor told him, we don't have much time. Now, back in the present time, Duke told her, it's not that surprising. He was expecting that since Count has not contacted us in a while. Briella thought he seemed unaffected, as if he was used to this. He must have gone through countless betrayals, she knew. But that made her blood boil even more. What is he plotting, Rane? After some time, Eve asked. He told her to change her dress right before the opening ceremony, as she did, but now she don't have the opportunity to stand next to him. The emperor replied. He told her several times that she must show some effort for what she want. Eve replied, but she always put in effort, she always do whatever he tell her to. The emperor responded, that's her problem, she only do what he tell her. Think about it. What did Olivia do when she was in the seat? Then the emperor was informed that the Duke and Duchess of Vitterpen were requesting an audience within. The emperor stated, well, this seems like a great opportunity. It's time to meet the nobles. How about it, Eve? He needs someone to prepare this small gathering for him. Can she do it? Is this not the perfect opportunity to cover up her indecent behavior just now? Eve thought. If she doesn't show him what she is capable of, he may abandon her completely. She has one tool that she can use, her golden eyes. She doesn't know about the meaning hidden behind the golden eyes, but she must use this while it still holds value to him. Then she started. She will do it. Now, she will show him what she can do. After some time, Eve thought this is not going to be a tea party with ladies who want to please her. She must prepare an event that will be attended by all the nobles of the realm. She volunteered quite boldly, but she has never done anything like this before. What does she do? The next moment, Briella came, and Eve asked why she is here. Briella replied because she thought Lady Eve needed help. Then Briella thought, did she cry? Briella told the maid to go and get some warm water for washing up. The one at the back should go to the dress room, brush Lady Eve's hair, untie her hair, and let it flow down naturally. Inform the high steward to prepare the drawing room on the second floor near the plaza. Eve spoke. But the drawing room on the second floor is too small and dark. Briella replied. Why don't she trust her a bit for now? Then, after some time, Eve was shocked that she looked completely changed. Briella stated she told them to prepare ginger tea. When they finish the tea, the guests will naturally look for some sweets, and that's when Eve should offer the cookies. Then in the room, Eve thought this drawing room was dark and depressing, but this feels completely different. It's quite bright in here, and this fragrant smell reminds her of spring flowers. After that, the emperor said, that's quite impressive considering the short amount of time she had. Eve stated. She apologizes for the wait. Please take a seat. Everyone. His Majesty's seat is in front of the window. The emperor stated. It's nice to have everyone gathered here in one place. Eve stated. Have some of these cookies. All of them started. This sweet taste goes very well with the tea. Briella stated she is glad that everyone likes them, because Lady Eve especially prepared them for the goddess festival. Rane asked if he had not tasted this kind of flavor. What are the ingredients? Briella replied. They all know that the number of poor people in the slums is growing lately. Children in the slums make their living by picking and selling the flowers. These cookies are made with those flowers. They bought the flowers from the children, and their parents baked the cookies. The beautiful idea to buy flowers and hiring the poor people as an aid project was from Lady Eve. Lady Eve replied. Yes, he wanted to help out somehow. Briella spoke, and Lady Eve even gave up some of the budget and luxury expenses for the Rose Palace. Eve was shocked. The emperor stated, well, looks like he need to apologize. He think he said some harsh things to Eve before. Then Duke stated, by the way, Your Majesty, and Duke knelt and said, he want to officially ask for his forgiveness. The emperor asked, what is this all of a sudden? He thought the commotion was over. Duke replied, even so, he know that Your Majesty must have doubts over his behavior. The child reminded him of his little sister, whom he have not seen in a while, and he ended up doing something foolish. But he know that Your Majesty will let him meet Serenum once urgent matters have been taken care of. The emperor thought, This horrible feeling, as if his throat is burning down inside. Then the emperor replied. He thought he was quite clear about forgiving him, so stand up. The festival will go on 3 days from now. We are all here to wish good luck for the next year. Rane spoke. It looks like Duke has suddenly grown very mature. Duke replied. They say people mature once more when they marry. He have more to protect now. It was about time for him to refine his behavior. There are many who worry that the Rhone Empire still hasn't celebrated the worst of the next heir. Shouldn't he prepare for his next marriage? Your Highness, it hasn't been that long since the Empress's funeral. He know that her death wasn't very honorable, but as of now, the descendants of the imperial family are remaining, with His Highness, Princess Serena, and he himself. The Emperor replied, there is much he must consider for the future of the empire. We should end this gathering for today. Then he thought, he can't stay here another moment in this foul mood, they can all leave. Rose speaks she needed to tell him something. She will wait for him in the garden of the Rose Palace. She will be waiting for him until he come. Then, after some time, Eve stated she wanted to apologize to her. She kept doubting her all this time. She brought the Emperor's cloak before. She supposed Briella wouldn't have known since she is from the north, but that is the symbol of the Emperor. Until now, the Emperor has never given that cloak to anyone. Briella replied, is that so? She suppose it can't be helped that other people suspect something about her. She do understand considering her position and all. Eve stated thanks for what she did today and for her understanding. Briella replied she need not apologize or thank her. She simply did what the Emperor ordered her to do. Eve asked, she helped me just because the Emperor told her to. Briella replied, do she need any other reason? Do she want to be treated like a sulking child while everyone guesses what she need? Eve spoke, she is still irritating. Briella have everything that she could never have, as if they were her to begin with, just like a certain someone. The Emperor is interested in Rose Delavine, someone with golden eyes besides herself. Briella asked, what about having golden eyes? Eve replied she knows how the Emperor called her. When he was pleased with her, he said, his golden rose. Briella was shocked and thought, why does she feel so horrible and uneasy? Of all things, the golden rose, perhaps Shay should bait her more. Briella asked if she had never seen them either. Eve replied, she felt the same way when she first met Marquis Rane. Briella asked if she met Marquis Rane by chance. Eve replied he told her not to say this to anyone. Briella said, she is not worrying about unnecessary things. As Lady Eve knows, she don't have any other friends to talk to. She thought friends talk about secrets that they can't tell anyone else. On the other hand, Duke asked Marquis Haley what he was doing there. Haley replied he was just passing by. Duke thought that was the drawing room. The three of them left together. They must be in there. Then Duke stated, the Goddess Festival is a day to celebrate. Why don't he join him for tea? Haley replied, okay. In the next scene, Duke stated he is grateful to simply be inside the palace once more, though he does wonder if this is the time to worry about himself. He didn't expect Marquis Rane to return so easily. Shall they continue their conversation inside? Then, Haley thought only a few days ago, His Majesty behaved as if he needed him all the time. Even when the angry people rushed in front of the palace, he stayed up all night and stood by his side. He was given the best room in the palace, and his daughter did her best to serve Lady Eve. His wife costlessly persuaded the noble ladies, who refused to acknowledge Lady Eve, and this is what he gets in return. He needs wine to help him wash away this humiliation. Duke stated the Emperor should treasure the wisdom that Haley has built over time. He knows that it's not easy to serve his lord with simple loyalty alone for such a long time. It is certainly not something that can be done by a stranger who suddenly intruded. Haley thought, what is this? Why did he feel like he have finally been acknowledged? And who would have thought Duke, of all people, would help him calm down? The butler came and told Haley that His Majesty is urgently looking for him. Duke stated His Majesty is a jealous person from when he was young. Do not hesitate to find him when he needs his help. Then, after some time, Duke stated he is like this because the plan worked too well. Haley and the Emperor are probably really anxious right now. He has a feeling Count won't be able to do much because of Rose. It's been a while since he was able to fall asleep without drinking, then he thought. He wonder if this is because of the wine or something else. His heart is beating extremely, and his mind is going blank. Briella thought, for some reason, the temperature around her feels strange. His deep black eyes might suck her in somehow. Duke stated he likes her. Briella thought, why is she crying? Then Duke kissed her. Like this video. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.